Hi guys, I hope you're all well. So I've been playing HeroQuest for a good couple of years now. Something I've always wanted to do, and that's recreate this front cover from the original HeroQuest in 3D. And that's exactly what I'm going to do in this video. So stick around to see how I got on and how I replicated this awesome looking design. So the first thing to do is print off a photo or picture to use as a reference. And it's also going to be a good guide to the scale. As you can see, some of the miniatures here are going to be large and some are going to be small, as in big ones at the front and smaller going towards the back. Although there's a couple of pictures or a couple of things at the back there that are, well, rather large. So the first thing I did was I printed off this lovely chap. I will leave links to where you can get all these miniatures from. And as you can see, yeah, he's not bad looking. And this dude, well, he was printed off on my Halot X1 from Crete. Absolutely love this printer. Had it now for a good 3 months. And yeah, it works beautifully. Obviously, looks awesome as well. And guys, this really is one of those plug and play devices. So straight out of the box, easy to use. Also comes with its own software, which is really good because this is also extremely easy to use. You can go in and mess about with the settings like most sort of printers, but I like to keep things, as I say, real simple. And I use everything that comes with it, as in it does all the formatting, all the settings, everything else. So as you can see, I've got my miniatures here, and yeah, it looks a bit weird because they are all different sizes, but not to worry, they will come out perfectly. So I'm using the Halo 16K standard resin for this thing. There are other videos out there, guys, of me showing you this printer in more depth, and you will see quite a bit of this coming up, as yeah, I've got a lot of ideas, things that I am going to be printing, and I'm going to be using this printer, well, but pretty much most of the ideas that I've got this year. But one of the features that's definitely different on this, so there's a few features on this that are different from other printers. And the first one is this, the actual build plate. It's got these little grooves and slots in it. And the reason for that, it's got these little flappy paddles at the top. And you'll see why these are so awesome later on in the video. But basically, these detach the, well, whatever you 3D print, you wiggle these little flappy paddles and the things come off, which is awesome. Also, this thing gets locked in by magnets in here. So once you put it on, it feels loose. But once this printer's going, it all locks into place, which is obviously absolutely awesome. So sticking things on a USB, I need to sort this out because you can do Wi-Fi. I've had this long enough now that I should have really set it up. But yeah, you plug the thing in. And the other interesting thing with this is, rather than the build plate going down, you've got the VAT and the UV light and everything else underneath goes up. So yeah, something completely different to, well, pretty much every printer I think I've ever used. So I love how this works, and yeah, never had any problems printing with this. So it's a really great machine. Again, I'll leave some links down below, guys, so we can check out more information about this printer. So about an hour or so later, this is what's come out. And as you can see, yeah, the orcs, they've been flattened a bit because, well, I don't need them to be fully 3D'd. But say this is the great thing about these flappy paddles. There's no more of that grating a scraper and trying to scrape things off. Because sometimes, well, they just don't want to come off. So with this, you get your flappy paddles and this little tray that comes with the printer. You wiggle the flappy paddles and they just pop off, which is awesome. So as you've have seen, possibly from the thumbnail, not sure what thumbnail I've used yet, but yeah, I'm going to build these on a nice little base stand and just make the whole thing look really good. So using this reference picture, it is a case of, well, building up the set and the scene and putting everything where it needs to go. So rather than 3D printing or trying to 3D print the stonework, I'm going to use this, something I've never used before, but basically you can sort of carve into it, which is pretty cool, because then I can make the stonework, well, look exactly like it does in the image. So for me to try and sort of 3D print these bits, yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to get them, to be honest. But it is a case of, obviously, the first sort of layer or stone is twice the thickness of what I've got. And as I say, I've never used this stuff before, so I'm using PVA glue, just because I know some stuff, like foam, if you use super glue, it basically it melts it, disintegrates it. So PVA glue is obviously normally a good glue for most stuff. It takes longer to dry, but that's fine. I've got plenty of time. So yeah, now is a case of, say, I want to make this look exactly like this scene. And that's why I'm going to make the brickworks myself, as in carving them out. So I'm going to make them exactly how this image looks. So say all the bits I just printed out on the Halot X1, they're all sort of, well, they should be roughly the right size for the actual image that I'm using, say, as this full-on reference, which does make things so much easier because then I can literally just measure things off of this picture and then rather 3D print them, or in this case, cut them. So yeah, this stuff that I've got, it does cut really easy. One thing I will say though, it is a little bit messy. And there are some parts of it where it almost sort of crumbles away. So you will see me use some grout just to sort of fill in it in any areas. So on this other 3D printed bit, I just need to sort of gauge or gouge out a little channel. So I've got my little miniature here, and I say I was thinking about painting these all separately, but the problem with that is, yeah, I think it was easier to build this thing as one, and then I decided to paint it all as one. Especially as some of these little miniatures, they are mini miniatures. So again, these are sort of roughly to the same scale as the actual reference image, and that's why these orcs at the front, I kind of flattened them because, well, you only see them from the back, so there was no real need to have them sort of fully 3D printed. Again, that's the great thing with 3D printers. You can 3D print things to whatever size scale you need. And so the Halot X1, the software that you use for that, yeah, guys, it is very simple. And you know, I'll always say, if I can use it, yeah, definitely anyone can use it because, yeah, I need plug, play, things that do things, well, basically for me, pretty much. So yeah, again, roughly trying to sort of get these bricks to make them look like they are, well, they're disappearing as it goes back, because obviously there is a case of things at the front are bigger, things at the back definitely smaller. So everything needs to sort of decrease in size as it's going back. And obviously everything's going to a point as well, which is why the stones, as you can see, are trying to like lead the eye towards the to the center. But say this stuff, yeah, for sort of gauging in or gouging in, keep saying that wrong, don't I really? Yeah, it is super soft. So I did change the orcs at the beginning. I kind of felt they were too wide. So when I took my shots or my initial pictures to sort of see how it looked, yeah, they looked too wide. So again, great thing with a 3D printer, I just resized it. And then it was a case of adding more of this stuff just to, well, again, I'm going to do all of this with this because I tried to look for sort of reference things I could 3D print, but just couldn't really find anything that was exactly right. So again, it just made sense to sort of make these little bricks individually. It's quite fun. It was nice to sort of do a little bit of sort of the old model making. Although I must admit, I do obviously like 3D printing stuff because you can get exactly what you need. So yeah, some bits, guys, will be sort of sped up when you come to sort of see the painting of this. I do show every sort of color that I use, but then when you see the bits of me painting, and you might think, oh, he's painting fast. Yeah, I'm not painting fast. I am literally speeding that a little bit up. And there we go. So this is kind of like how I got to. And I thought, yeah, this is pretty good. As you can see, any white areas, that's where I filled bits in with grout. Because there was a case of sometimes, as I say, this stuff, it just crumbled, crumbled too much. Right, so there's a couple of little green guys at the back. No idea what they are. They're definitely not orcs. They're not goblins. Oh, it might be hobgoblins, I guess. I'm not too sure. But wherever they are, I couldn't find anything to replicate them. Hence the reason I've got a little bit of green stuff. And yeah, I've made a couple of weird looking things, shoved them in the back. I mean, basically, you don't really see much of them. But yeah, they're there. So yeah, so this is where I am now going to sort of glue all the bits and pieces in together. I say my first thought was to sort of paint them separately. But a couple of things with that. Obviously, one, say some of these are so small, it'd be quite tricky to sort of put them on a paint handle and paint them. And the other thing I kind of thought was, well, you only see everything here from the front. So it doesn't really matter if I can't get to the back of these to paint because you're not going to see them. So say these two bits here, these are, well, larger than the other little bits at the back. I don't know if this was a mistake by the artist or intentional, but say I'm trying to make this sort of recreate this to look exactly like the artwork. So that's why I'm going with it, and I've made obviously everything to the sort of scale that is there. Yeah, these little guys, they are fiddly, but it shows us how great the Halot X1 is to be able to print something that is really so small. Obviously, the front guy, he's obviously a lot bigger than your typical 32mm. This guy is probably about the right sort of size for 32mm gameplay. But yeah, the little orcs and the bits at the back, they are teeny tiny. And there we go. Yeah, love how this looks. I say this is pretty much exactly like the artwork. Love the fact that I put it on this little sort of plinth thing. I've got the HeroQuest logo there as well. And then in the case of painting it. But yeah, normally I would prime in black and then dry brush. With those little miniatures, I think I would have broke them off. So I have literally primed in black and then done the old dusting of sort of white spray from above and from the front. And then, yeah, case of painting. So this is primarily going to be sort of speed paints and dipping inks. But with the sort of the base thing it's on, I like going with the antique sort of look. So that's why I've gone with the gold. Good old dry brushing, just to sort of give it a hint that there is sort of copper gold looking thing. But yeah, I do like the old dry brushing there. So color wise, again, trying to sort of keep to exactly the color palette of the image. As I say, I will show every sort of bottle I do use. I don't always say what color I'm using. So guys, if you want to see what color I'm using, just pause it on the screen. Typically, I do try and get a bottle in sort of nice focus at the front, so you can see exactly how it looks. So as I've done, obviously priming primarily with white here, rather than doing my priming in black and then dry brushing white, some of the areas aren't going to be as dark as they would be doing the old slap chop method. So what I typically do then is I go over and give it a second coat. So the first coat's not dried too badly there, but I do think go over with a second coat, definitely on the barbarian, definitely to make his muscles pop that bit more. As I say, to make obviously the definition of the nooks and crannies being nice and dark, raised areas, flatter areas, definitely being sort of lighter looking. So yeah, so with this, I didn't really bother. Well, I did kind of paint some of the backs of these little miniatures here, but they didn't really need to be painted because, say, this is a little sort of display to be seen from the front. So yeah, don't look too much around the back. Guys, I may be selling this. I'm not sure. I've got an eBay account. Check the eBay link down below. Some of the stuff I do build, I sell. It really depends if I'm building something to make it so to play with it, or I'm just making stuff for fun. So whenever I make stuff for fun, typically it'll sit on my desk or a shelf for a little while, and then I'm like, yeah, I need more room, so I'll sell it or try to sell it. I must admit, my children do get a lot of the stuff I make, especially my number one daughter, and by number one I mean my eldest daughter. But she's got a lot of shelves in her bedroom, and yeah, she'll have lots of stuff there. I try to give some of my stuff to my son, but he's like, nah, no thanks, Dad. He's actually in the room with me and he's shaking his head. So, but yeah, I don't care. I just like making stuff. Obviously, say some of the things I do make, I make to play with. But generally, a lot of it is just for the fun. It's the hobby. So yeah. So yeah, back to this. Again, say using the speed paints, dipping inks, trying to get it to look exactly like the image. So obviously, there's a couple of these candles at the back, so they are going to do a lighter sort of reflection behind them. This is where, guys, my painting skills, I am definitely an average dad when it comes to painting. There are a lot of people out there that paint a whole lot better than me. And again, when I'm painting, I paint for fun, but I like to paint relatively quick. I'm not going to spend sort of 50 hours painting a miniature. I like to get a miniature done, dusted, and then played with, or in this case, I do this and then I move on to the next thing I want to sort of make, paint and whatever else. So that's why for me, speed paints, dipping inks, contrast paints, whatever it might be that you use, yeah, that's definitely my preferred method. I mean, that's not to say every now and then I will get a miniature and I will try and do some highlights, lowlights, or whatever they are with normal paints. But yeah, typically I am more let's get paint chucked on, then move on to the next thing. So yeah, I did enjoy painting this. There was a few occasions where to try and paint the front of a miniature got a little bit tricky, especially the ones at the back, because obviously there's things in the way at the front of them. But I just saw that as a bit of a fun challenge to try and sort of be able to get around the back and get it all done. So as you can see with this, yeah, the outer edges are definitely a lot darker. So using this noble skin, but obviously dark brownish, using that. So you can obviously do the speed paints over the top of each other. These are obviously Speed Paints 2.0. Well, these have been out for quite some time now. So yeah, there's no problems about sort of painting over the top of other speed paints with the speed paints. There's no activation or reactivation or any of that kind of thing. And yeah, I try to do a bit of feathering, but as you can see, yeah, not a lot. And by feathering, I normally mean I dry the brush a little bit, and then sort of paint or try and blend the paints in together. But yeah, again, I paint for me, so I'm happy with the result. Guys, if you're going to have a go at recreating this, yeah, I know you could probably spend a lot more time and effort and all the rest of it doing it. But for me, say it is a bit of fun. I do make obviously videos every week, so I like to sort of get in, have fun with a video, get it done, and then kind of move on to the next one, which is obviously what I do. So guys, if you do like these sort of little diorama ones, let me know. So I like painting individual miniatures, dioramas, and terrain. Well, basically, I like a bit of all sorts, which is kind of why my channel is a bit of all sorts. And I know sometimes that messes up the YouTube algorithms because I really should have stuck with one sort of thing. So I know some people are here for the games that I play, as in the Kill Team. Some are here for the HeroQuest. Some are here for terrain builds. Some of you guys are here for whatever I do, which I really appreciate. So I know that I do have quite a mixed bag of people that watch some of the videos and don't watch all of them. And again, I know YouTube doesn't like this. They like one person to make videos on one particular subject. Yeah. Anyway, I'm waffling now. So back to this. The one good thing about doing all the mentions like this in one go, whatever colour I'm using, as in you just seen the brown there, I'll do the brown on all of the bits that are going to be brown, so the boots and some of the sort of the leggings and all the rest, and then I can move on to another colour, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so with the gold, I did go over a little bit with the HeroQuest sign, just to make the actual HeroQuest words stand out. And then went round, yeah, painting anything that was meant to be sort of gold. Yeah, got painted gold. And as you can see, yeah, I'm really pleased with how the progress of this comes along. And that is one nice thing when you do a larger diorama. Obviously, everything starts off being, well, in this case, white. But then as you're going along, everything gets a little bit of colour. So it starts taking sort of progress and shape little bit by little bit, which is really good. I say even for me, because obviously when I build and paint these, I am filming bits here and there. But then when I put it all together, like the video I've done you're watching, I put all the clips together and then I voice over the top. So for me, again, this kind of video, it's fun for me to watch the progress or to re-watch the progress in one hit. Because obviously this would have been made over several days, not in one sort of go. So yeah, watching this now, waffling over the top, it's fun to see exactly the progress that I made. So one of the last things to do, yeah, even though the dipping inks, speed paints work really well, sometimes I like them to be a little bit grungier, dirtier, and really get into the nooks and crannies of some darker stuff. So that's why I do go over occasionally with a wash. And again, this is where it's all about having fun, experimenting. So don't be put off by putting paints on and then putting more paints over the top of paints. Yeah, just have fun with it, guys. Again, that's what I always say, isn't it? This is a hobby. It's meant to be a fun. If you're not enjoying it, take a break like I did some months ago, and then come back to the hobby refreshed, and just have fun with it. So this is obviously how the thing looks, and this is how my little thing looks. And yeah, I don't think I did too bad a job. Okay, guys, there's links down below. So everything I've used in this video. The only thing I didn't do was obviously this little sort of lightning bit. I had thought about trying to get maybe some wire and then doing some cotton wool, but then I kind of thought, nah, I'm gonna make a mess of that. It's gonna look, yeah, awful. I like this how it looks, so that's why I didn't mess about with the lightning bolt. But yeah, really pleased with how this has all come out. Love the colours. I think I've done a fairly good job of recreating the front cover. Again, guys, let me know in the comments if you want to see me do more sort of dioramas like this, or if there's anything you want to see me have a go at making, painting, or whatever. Let me know as well. I love trying out new things. As well, I've got quite a few ideas for some 3D printed stuff I'm going to be doing this month. Definitely be some Kill Team stuff. Again, Kill Team, HeroQuest, they're my bag. They're the ones you're going to see more of. But again, if there's anything different, let me know. I do love Necromunda stuff, even though I've never played that game. I do enjoy the look of them sort of miniatures. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave comments down below. Check out the links to everything. Thanks again, Halot X1, because I've actually sponsored this video. But as always, guys, whenever I am sponsored for anything, I think you hear me say it's my own words. I'm never told what to say or what to show. They just say, yeah, use our printer and make something. And well, this is what I've made. And I really like it. So cheers to Halot X1, Pio Crete, all links down below, guys. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Video coming up soon, guys. Give that a click, see more of what I do. And I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.